Alright, so I was looking at the upcoming PlayStation games a couple weeks ago or a week ago, and I saw this Impact Winter game pop up, and I read the description, and it sounded like a survival game, and I'm a huge fan of survival games. Like, I can't wait for the Forest to come out to PS4. Been playing, well, I haven't played it in a long time, but I was a really big fan of 7 Days to Die when it came out, and that one just kind of started to bore me because there's a lot of work needs to be done in that game. Ark Survival Evolved, big fan of that. I played solo though. I really couldn't get into the whole online clan thing where somebody can come and destroy your entire village or, you know, your settlement or whatever. But anyway, I was intrigued by the way this sounded, and I watched a gameplay video. Well, I watched the video that came up on the PlayStation Store, and it looked interesting. It didn't look like I expected it to look. I mean, from the description, I figured it was going to be some kind of first-person survival, or even, you know, a third-person behind-the-shoulder view. What makes this one different is, you know, it's kind of like an isometric game, and you have a team that works with you. I mean, they don't really work with you. They stay back at your base. Your base is this little church, abandoned church, and there's like, it's post-apocalyptic, nuclear winter. A meteor hits the Earth and causes basically a nuclear winter. And it's you and this group of 4 other people that are trying to survive 30 days to get rescued. You have this little robot that is trying to send out a signal to pinpoint your location so you can get rescued. And as you level up and do certain tasks, you'll reduce that 30-day timer. I think it starts... Where is it? There it is, right there. The rescue timer. So I died, and then I started over because when I started playing this, it's kind of cartoony. The graphics are... I really like the graphics, and I thought it was like kind of cute. Like, I thought it was going to be like survival light, but it's pretty intense. When your people start deteriorating, it goes really fast. So each one of them has a craft that they can craft certain things for you. There's one woman that's a cook. There's one woman that is like a mechanic. There's a guy that works on he can upgrade your robot, and then there's a guy that can teach you survival skills. And I don't think that you can do all of their quest lines. Each one of their quest lines is how you get their skills, and I don't think that there's enough time before the 30 day. Even if you don't do anything else and it goes the full 30 days, I don't think that you would have enough time to max out all of their storylines. But right now I'm working on, there's an old black dude. He is the survival guru, basically, and he's got me, he's teaching me how to trap animals. So we're starting off with rats, and there's a cave that he apparently used to hang out in or haunt, I don't know, but he's sending me there I think I have to trap 4 rats and then take the meat back. This is a survival game, but it's also really hardcore resource management. Everything is finite. There's no respawning of materials. There's a lot to find. I mean, I don't even think I've uncovered a quarter of the map, and there's a lot of stuff to find. So you really have to pick and choose what you take, because you have limited inventory space. Everything that you pick up goes into your robot's inventory, and until you upgrade it, you have very little space. That's all the space I have right there. So you can upgrade it through the guy, I think his name is Christoph, and hold more stuff. But if, you know, at least in the beginning, you really have to be careful about what you're picking up, because there's things like a cooler that might be useful. The one girl, I can't remember her name, she can use it to craft like some survival stuff for the church. But if you're working on another quest, you may not want to grab it because you may not have room. But you're going to be finding wood and metals and just all kinds of stuff, and most of it has a use. The majority of it can be used to craft something, but if you're not at the point where you're crafting a particular things, it doesn't make any sense to carry it, because it's going to take, I think the cooler takes like 6 squares of your inventory. Every time you do something, like I just leveled up, so it just took 4 hours off of my survival timer, and then you get to pick roles. You can assign roles to the different people in your party, and all of them has a plus and a minus. So this one's never get hangover from drinking alcohol. I haven't seen a scenario where you need to give anybody alcohol. This one is more, you get to pick from 2 every time you level up, so this one seems a little bit more useful, because you find a ton of rotten food, and food it's not hard to come by at first, but it's hard to make it last. So, alright, this dude's telling me to place traps, and then I have to put something in them. So, let's see. I did this on my last game before I died, and it was pretty much the last thing I did. I froze to death running back to the church afterwards. Alright, so I'm gonna place this trap. What's going on, viewer? I don't see your name. I'm not. I really just do gameplay. I'm not like a personality or anything. I'm just trying to show off this game with some commentary. Let's see. I wanted to see because if you find gummy candy and it barely gives you any health, or it barely fills your hunger meter at all. So I'm thinking it might be useful as rat bait, but I could be wrong. Alright, so alright, well, there was a rat. Let's throw another trap down here. The one thing, there's 2 things that I don't really care for about this game. I mean, they're small problems, but they kind of drive me nuts. One is the controls don't seem as responsive sometimes. Like for the most part, it's normally everything is fine. That little bastard got my bait. Normally it's fine, but sometimes it just seems like you have to push extra hard or wait for the game to catch up. So yeah, it looks like they don't care about the gummy bears. I guess that's wolf bait, maybe? Oh no, we got him. So I mean, I gotta say, I'm really digging the game. It's $20. At first I didn't want to pay $20 for it just because I didn't know anything about it. What's wrong with my dude? There's nothing wrong with him. Yes, I was pushing on the controller and he's just kind of like flopping around a little bit. Let's see if these guys are like roasted nuts. Your robot has a light on it, so if you have the light on, the The rats won't come out. Let's see if we can get these guys to come out. I think I have to catch 4 of them, and one of them broke my trap, so I'm not sure if I have to be further away, but they seem to come out, like, they'll come out right next to you sometimes. So I'm not sure why. There's one. Yep, got him. I am a master rat killer. Alright, so the next part of his story is called Bow Hunter, which makes sense now because I found weapons. I found a shotgun, I found a magnum, and a bow. I found ammo for everything, and I could pick it up, but I wasn't able to use it. I couldn't even equip it. So I was really curious how that was gonna go, but it looks like he has to teach me how to use weapons, which, oh gosh, shit. I need the bone fragments I'm picking up because I have a quest. There's these dudes that wander around called nomads, and they some of them will do business with you, some of them will have a task for you to do. Oh no, I need that meat. So, I guess he's gonna make a bow. So there's a little green square on the corner of the, what is that, animal sinew. That means it's something that I need for a current quest. So he's probably gonna teach me how to make a bow. So we'll get rid of some of this stuff. No, we're thirsty. We'll go ahead and drink this so we can fit this stuff in here. So now we're gonna head back to the church because no, we're doing all right. But we don't have any room left in our bag. But you can set up campsites in different areas. Once you, the old guy, I can't remember his name, he can make campsite tents for you. So when you set up a campsite, you can set them up pretty much anywhere. You can send, as long as you go to sleep there, you can send back materials to the church. So in a case like this, I don't really have a need to go back to the church because my food is topped up and my water is topped up and I'm not freezing. So, and I have a lot of energy left, so it'd be stupid to waste that energy by running back if I don't need to. So we're gonna check. I know I put a campground down somewhere. I think it was north of here. But I want to try and find that so I can just send this stuff back, and then I think I have 4 active quests right now, and I'd rather find stuff for the other one before I head back. There's this long chasm that it's like eternal. It takes forever to run around it. There's another one a little further north, and there's a bridge that goes across that one. But this one, you have to run to the end of it. So anyway, I was talking about there's 2 things that bother me about the game. They don't bother me, but they're just kind of they kind of make it a pain sometimes. The first one is the controls. Like I said, for the most part, they're always pretty solid. They're not. I mean, the controller does what you expect it to do, but then sometimes it just seems like you have to push something multiple times. Like when you go into the menu, sometimes you have to push the button a couple of times before it'll move left and right from the buttons. Oh, they stole a bunch of my food. Scavengers can break into the church, even though there's 4 people there. I don't understand that, and that's The other issue I have is that there's 4 people back at the church, and they all have some kind of skill that they can do, and they all have a use, but not a single one of them, not one of them, can put wood on the fire, even though the furnace is right in the middle of the room. The wood is right where they will go to the supplies box and get food if they're hungry, but I'll be damned if they'll go and put some wood on the fire to avoid freezing. So then you have to stop what you're doing and run all the way back to the church to put. You can see it right there. If you look at the right side, the church stats, fuel on the fire. There's 52 minutes left of fuel, and they won't put, like, I just sent them wood, but there's plenty of wood back there, and they won't do anything to help themselves out. So we're gonna end up going back there soon anyway. It takes them a while to freeze, so it's not that bad, but you do get like 1,000 reminders that so and so is cold, and they can get sick. They get influenza, and then you can give if they get influenza, you have to give them antibiotics and multivitamins. The antibiotics or the painkillers are easy to find. It's the multivitamins that are a pain in the ass. Alright, so we got what he needs, and alright, so I didn't go. Kristoff wants you to go to this truck that you can't open and look at it, I suppose, and then report back to him. So this is the dumbest quest, but it gets him started, and then he can help you out with building up your, I think it's called Acolyte. It's A-K-O light. Oh, I got 5 hours that time. Alright, I want that one because those scavenger jerks just stole like 5 cans of food. Yeah, I don't know where this dude's stuff is. And he wants you to find it. I don't know if the world is, it seems like the world is static. Because everything's in the same place. The one thing I did notice is all the loot is changed in each of the locations that I went to. So I think there's some randomness there, but everything else is the same. The world is the same. The people that you pick up little mini quests from are all in the same place. But I think it'll probably have some replayability because everything moves around. Alright, so we're just going to head back to the church and feed everybody, because you have to, people won't eat on their own. Well, they will, but they'll eat any old thing. You really want to ration out the food for everybody, otherwise they'll use things that the one girl can use to cook things. What the hell is this guy? Alright, so here is, oh, I sent them all back. This is the dude that I need all those bone fragments for. Oh no, he wants paper money. That's right. I took that one this time. I took the bone fragments one last time. But that's what the nomads look like. There's one that's set up in a house, and he's a trader. And the money that you collect is seeds in this game. And you can find it pretty much anywhere. But yeah, I went to see if there were any reviews for this game or anything, and I couldn't find anything right before it came out. And then after it did, there's like 4 reviews in different languages, like Italian and Spanish, and then I think there were 1 or 2 English reviews. So I just wanted to put up some video, just show a little bit about, you know, what the game is like. I was playing it, and I was really enjoying it. Like I said, I have a couple issues with it, but it seems like those are things that could be the controls can be patched. The people putting fuel on the fire, I'm not so sure about, but you know, hopefully they'll put something into it and, you know, get rid of a couple of things that seem to be issues. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end there. I hope you liked the video. I hope if you were thinking about picking this game up, I hope that I convinced you one way or the other. There's not a whole lot more to the game. I mean, it's much longer than the video I've just shown, but you know, each of the different members of your team has a pretty big list of items that they can create, and they each have a storyline that helps you broaden their repertoire, basically. So yeah, it's a pretty fun game for 20 bucks. I think it's worth it, but again, I'm a big fan of survival games, and you know, your mileage may vary, but I think it's worth giving a shot. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and hit me with a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I appreciate it.